Right, morning y'all. Mizuno M-Craft putters. We're going to review these today. Quite excited by this. So we got like weight system, fancy little weight port that comes with them, smart head covers, 3 different finishes, blue ion being one of them. So I used to have a Mizuno putter back in the day, one that I totally loved. Someone actually offered me £2,000 for it, and we're talking, how old am I? 25 years ago for it. And I didn't sell it because I just loved it. And unfortunately I lost it in a fire. The place I worked burnt down and it got lost in there. And it was a top end, like bladed Mizuno putter. So there's a soft spot for my brain with Mizuno putters. The 3 questions really from today's video that hopefully we can try and answer. This is a top end putter. So can Mizuno make a top end putter? Question number 1. And how will they compare to other top end putters? Because certainly not a company you would really be putting in the putter bracket possibly. And it's that same old question that we get always when you look at putters this expensive. Why would you spend this much money on a putter? Like, is it gonna make you hold more putts? Those kind of ideas. Mizuno M-Craft Day. Looking forward to this one. Should we take a look at some of the tech, what Mizuno is saying about these putters? First edition of the new M-Craft line that lives up to Mizuno's reputation for producing equipment at absolute precision and feedback. And that's my first question. Can Mizuno make these kind of putters? Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that they don't. We so associate them, don't we, to precision irons and amazingly well-produced forged irons. And in the putter world, why does that not translate? And maybe it does now in M-Craft. Premium 1020 mild carbon steel and CNC milled creates the most precision shapes and alignment, precise shapes and alignment with 3 initial classic shapes in 3 striking finishes. And the finishes in these putters are amazing. So we get white satin, blue ion and black ion. I mean, they look unbelievable in the finishes and the colours and the way they look. Absolute precision, so a CNC milled from 225 mild carbon steel. Heavy weight stability, so a 355 gram, weightly 355 gram for rhythmic putting stroke, they're saying. You've got additional weight kits as well, so a 3 gram, a 13 gram and an 8 gram, all interchangeable in that fancy weight kit. Does look fancy and lovely and smart. And you get the patch M-Craft head cover, premium quality Mizuno's classic staff colours and embezzled with leather M-Craft mark. Post comments down below, who do you think they're trying to pull from with this kind of stuff? Because in the putter world, the more, what's the right word? Do we call it kitsch? The more fancy it kind of gets in all these kind of frills, definitely does work for other putter brands, certainly in that top end kind of mark, doesn't it? And then we get the M-Craft shapes, the 1, the 2, which is your more classic answer with that neck, and then you get the face balance mild mallet. So each one appealing to different stroke arcs in theory. That's not always the case, but that's what most companies do latch on to, the way the toe hang works or not, and they relate that then to arcs of strokes, which you can ignore or not, or you'll ignore in your stroke when you test them. That's what I'm going to do now. Let's go outside and test them. So let's begin with the 1. Now, I've never been a huge fan of this neck in any of these kind of putters, but first thing when I look at the 1 here is the shapes, the lines are absolutely deliciously straight. So I love the sharpness of the straightness of the lines, the kind of forging, the engineering, if you like, of the shape. It definitely looks in that kind of high class bracket. And it does have that high class feel off the face. It does have that really nice kind of, you know, what you expect from the quality and price of this putter feel to it. It's soft, but it's not like, it's right in between kind of soft and firm. You do feel the contact. It's not like absorbed in there. I like the shape, just not a massive fan of this neck for me. Right, let's see what the 2 is all about. Now this is my shape. This is the shape I always go back to. It's that Ping Answer classic shape. Again, the lines are perfectly square and beautiful, and we get this blue finish over the silver finish. Now what I prefer out of these two finishes, I do like the chrome finish. It is really sharp, but I like a bit of funky blue Mizuno. So I really couldn't decide between these two. And the two is a it's not just the neck. The head is slightly not as fat at the back. It's slightly thinner and maybe not as sharp in some of its lines. So we see some rounding here and here, opposed to the very chiseled flat lines of the one. Again, the feeling off the face, for me, it's only the color that's changing. As I understand it, feels exactly the same. I am a big fan of this blue finish. Actually, the more I putt with it now, it does start to feel very, very nice. Does feel good. Now I've got the weights in the 8 in what I prefer, or I kind of thought would be my preferred out of the 3. The one I've gone the 3, which is the lightest. You do feel, it does feel light, obviously it is, but you do start to notice it if you put them next to each other. With the 3 weights in as it stands on its own, like, I don't feel like that feels too light at all. And I've got the 13 weights here in the 3, which is probably my least preferred shape out of all of them. So I've gone for the heavy mallet. You do start to feel a bit of weight here in the 13, certainly from the 3, which you'd expect. I'm not a big fan of this shape. It's just not the prettiest mallet. I don't like the way we get this big kind of bit of toe hanging out this side. I like the way the neck joins. I'm sure people who like mallets will like this one. It's quite long. I mean, it sits good on the ground. The feel is the same as the others. It just isn't my preferred shape out of the 3, and that's very much my personal preference. You would choose obviously the one that you prefer to look down at. I just think there's nicer mallets than this. Again, that feel is no different to the other 2. Whatever they're calling this blue finish does look really smart and unique. And you do feel, if the odd tour player was to put that in their bag and start winning, it's going to stand out. People are going to ask what it is. And with putters, sometimes it's a little bit all about that. I'm definitely gravitating between the 1 and 2 for head shape. I think I prefer the 1 shape 2 neck. If I could mix those two, I think we'd have almost my perfect putter. Feel across all 3 is exactly where I'd want it. And they absolutely do feel high quality, engineered, forged, all those words you'd put in with those top brands when it comes to putters. The weight difference between the 3, using that weight system on the bottom, it's minimal, it's tiny. You're gonna have to really dial into what you think is the perfect feels to get them working the way you'd want them to work. I've really enjoyed my day with M-Craft putters. Let me know in the comments down below if you like the mallet or not. I'm not a fan of the mallet. 1 and 2, big fans here. And let me know, what color would you go for? I mean, this in the dark one as well. The 2 in the dark might be the winner, or in the blue. Do you like the chromy one? Let me know in those comments down below. Can Mizuno make putters like this? Yeah. And they have. That feels as good as any high quality putter out there. It feels in your hand, it feels as you play it. It looks, and everything it oozes absolutely competes with what is out there in this top range putter kind of bracket. And they do compare on performance. Will they compare on brand? Before we answer that question, because it's always an interesting one in the putter debate, the third question I had, does spending this kind of money on putters really make a difference? No, it won't make you hole more putters, but it is a part of the bag that if you can afford it, getting these premium products that you always can keep your head cover on, you're not whacking, you're not hitting the ground with them, you can really keep them pristine. There is a strong market out there, and it's a place in my heart. I love putting. It's always been generally one of my skills, and I've always enjoyed trying to have an upper hand in this department. And even though unfortunately in the modern game that's not worth anything as near as much as I wanted it to be, it's still a part which I would love investing my money in because I love this part of the game. So will you hold more putts if you spend that much money, this much money on this brand, other brands, top putters? No, not particularly, in my opinion. One other point before we finish as well, the grips are nice on these putters. They don't feel as premier, I don't think, as maybe others, but I do like the feel of this grip, how it sits in my hand, the feeling of it with this cord running through it. It does look and feel nice. Will you test one of these putters? Probably not. Let me know, are they in your shops? Are they able to test when we're able to test putters again? Are they in your shops for you to test? Have you seen them in shops? So I think they compare in every shape, form, sound, feel. I just think Mizuno would need to be a different brand, certainly here in the UK, for it to compete with your likes of your Scotty Camerons, those kind of things. I'm not saying they can't, they absolutely can. I just think things like this being cooler, get it in cool people's hands, get some people winning tournaments with it, would rocket it up there, because the actual physical product is as good as anything I've tested out there in the putter world. Let me know down in the comments. Is it something you will try or not? You would never spend this much money on a putter, down there in those comments down below. And let me know the answer to the 3 questions. Can they make these kind of putters? I think they can. Let me know. Will they compare to other brands? I totally think they do. Well, at the same time, they don't because of brands. In that comments, let me know what you think. And if you spend that amount of money on your putting, has it transformed your putting or not in that comment section down below? Or is it really just something that you aspire to have? Thanks for watching. As always, see you in the next video.